Hello. How are you? How are you doing? Welcome. It is Monday afternoon, and I know that you had so many other better things that you wanted to do, like clean the house or watch all of the Rambo movies again. But I'm just happy that you decided to stop by the Nth Review and hang out with me. We'll play some more Everspace. I'm having a lot of fun with this game. I'm actually really glad that I'm not reviewing it. I'm glad to have that relationship with it. So, yeah. Let me make sure Discord's in the right freaking Yep, there it is. There it is. I gotta switch my monitor. All that fun stuff. I gotta remember to buy some AA batteries. I just put these in, but, you know. Who knows? Alright, let me bring the volume down on this, because it gets pretty nuts as I understand it. There we go. How's everyone doing tonight? I am actually, if you are a Patreon supporter, I'm hopping in the barbecue. And, I don't know what the heck that was. And, feel free, you can chat with me, you can chat with me live. Yes, I know it's enabled, you silly duck. Let me make sure that that's actually working before we start switching over. Yeah, that looks good. So, But, yeah. Let me know what's up. I'm happy to see you guys in here. Let me switch to my other thingy. Good evening, Cheese. Hey, Medium. How are you, buddy? Let's get into the game. Talked with Officer Shaw. I looked at a bunch of ships. We're on this planet. I saved them from something. Some evil peeps. And what do we got? We got there's some crafting inventory. I still haven't quite figured out crafting inventory on this stuff. A lot of people gravitate towards that one first because of the title of oh yeah, the Sable. Yep. Absolutamente. Do we have some perks to add? What do I have? Yes. Good. 15. That's still a ways away. Some of the stuff I have to destroy. Some of this is for sale. You can see my backpack's getting full. But if we dismantle this, that means that we can take its base, whatever. Damage limiter. Yeah, we'll put that in the thingy. It's not quite enough to combine. That's a robot. Nanobots. Primary weapons. Oh, scattergun. Cost cannon. We've got all of this stuff now. What about... I don't have enough blueprints for that. It's fine. Gauss cannon, scattergun. Does that mean I can make this stuff and then sell it? That's what it means. No tracking needed. I'll take it. Yes. And it's terrible stats. Ugh. Yuck. Huh. The energy capacity is less. Alright. Well, I guess we're getting out of here. Let's launch. See, that's what it looks like if you have rings around your planet.
My tech advisor transferred data concerning 2 nearby mines.
I was not expecting more surface level stuff, but okay.
Got it. Just leave it to me. Wonderful. And Godspeed.
Let's go to this desert mine. What you got? Oh. I'm zipping you up, buddy. Gotcha, buddy. You watched Medium's Industria video? Got you.
Great. A detonator drone. I don't like where this is going.
I get some Descent vibes off this. Here's a delay with sound. It's gotta be the Elgato. Because you're seeing in real time, right? But then the Elgato is delayed. I will, as soon as I can get to a... Let me see the Elgato. Advanced audio properties. There's no delay in the Elgato.
That was half a dozen.
I don't understand why there's a delay on that. I heard someone brought it up last week. Yeah, pew pew pew. I don't quite understand it. Because over last week you were saying that the sound was coming right at the proper time through the speakers, but not through the actual source. Oh, we gotta go over here. Look at all these busy bees. Elgato has a lot of problems scrubbing through footage on its weird colors, giving me to choose from it, and kept disconnecting throughout today. What a product, am I right? I remember like a decade ago having Elgato issues. That didn't end the Blackmagic that I had. But the Blackmagic wanted to record stuff in RAW, uncompressed footage, and that both ran like crap, but also took up 1 billion gigabytes each. So, alright, what am I looking for here? Let's go underneath the laser. That is a chasm right there. Ooh. Ooh. Maybe sending it where I came from. Yeah, looks like it. Down into the abyss. No, I'm just back where I started. What the heck? I wonder if my TV's color were not super friendly to Elgato. Something. Hell, man. All this is kind of a thing. Valuable shipwreck. What do we got? Magnetic repulsor. Huh. Huh. Alright, I guess we're going down. We're going down here. Clear the crystal cap. Oh, there's still. There's gotta be still people in here that have to be wiped out. It's gotta be. Oh, and there's. Got you, got you. I'm playing with my spaceship. Had a fun time. Blasting alien critters. Did you watch the Super Bowl, Nick? I'm sad. Tired of Casey. So, girlfriend is a huge Kansas City fan, so that was my surrogate team during that, and I know she probably has words to say about Super Bowl. I thought it was a very good ball game with the balls and the game, especially in that last bit there. Is heckin' nuts. I had a lot of fun. I was disappointed by the commercials. So there was an article that came out today or yesterday that's basically they don't show movie trailers on the Super Bowl anymore. They just show the ads for the trailer. You watch it online, so I guess it allows them to pay less for a trailer. It was a fun game for sure. Absolutely. Absolutely it was. It was a nail bite, especially in overtime. Oh my god. And they're doing their last drive there. And it's like, are they just going to tie it up? Or are they going to go for the win? And they went for the win. And I'm like, oh, but you can still score a field goal. You can still do that. And they didn't. Because they're like, nah, we won. We're good. It's like, but you could still get the field goal. Wicked, Deadpool 3, and Twist. Did they have a Deadpool 3 trailer? I don't know what to think about Twisters. Twister is a good movie that I kind of grew attached to more as I got older. But I don't know what to think of this new one. Oh, the Temu? Oh my god, we were complaining about that. Oh, wow, yeah. Like, what the heck? I was watching, I don't know if you've heard of the YouTuber Modern MBA, but he does presentations on business models and stuff like that. And he talked about them versus Wish versus Alibaba. And Wish, basically, there's no way that model makes any kind of sense, really. And Alibaba's propped up by the fact that it's part of Alibaba. And they're kind of chasing more of the high end, and then Temu is supposed to be kind of the same way. Drop shipping, right? Exactly. It reminded me a lot of a couple years ago when there was a bunch of crypto ads. It's like, well, thank God we grew out of that. Ew. Ooh, I'll take iron. Girlfriend has to be biting your tongue right now about that Kansas City. I got me some. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, there was a lot of think pieces about that today. And the various entities that they're tied to, and anti-LGBTQ, and fact that they spent $28 million on Super Bowl ads versus, you know, things that would actually be useful to people. Like Jesus the Christ would have wanted. Instead of marketing it. It's a thing. Nothing against religion, but couldn't that money have been better used? That's what I'm thinking, yeah. I guess it was some billionaire who was like, I want to advertise God. It's like, oh. I don't know if I cleared this cavern of raiders. I really don't. I swear I've gone through and done this stuff. Breaking up all this Ethereum is what it called. Quite understand what's going on here. Okay. Yep, there's some lasers. Yep, lasers. Is that upper level to where? Upper level to. Ooh, what's down here? Oh, this is where I've been. Sometimes it is easy to get disoriented in this game. I tell you what. That's a grinder. You can grind some pepper with that. Baldy said he would be in a little bit. He said he would probably be late. That's fine and dandy. I don't think there's... Oh, I don't know why I did that, but okay. That was silly of me. It's been an entire weekend since I've played this game, and I tapped the super button. But I did knock out a lot of guys earlier. You saw me. Knocking out them dudes. This way out. Like everything? Isn't this just the way down the other side? Yeah, it's like a 2-chamber. Ow. Thingy. I think I got all the bad guys. We'll go up top side and see if that amounts to anything. Because there's 2 mines. I think they said it was. And I don't usually watch many Super Bowls. I tell you what, it's been 8 years since the Broncos were there last with Peyton Manning. It seems impossible to comprehend. It's been that long. I don't remember being in this spot. these explode. They do! Yes! That's what Papa likes. Oh, I just bounced. I wish you could just run into these things or they were more discreet. Like power-up, like the Sun-style power-ups. That'd be cool. Crystal Cavern. I will take your plasma and I will find a new use for it. Who's got under the deck here? That is all the way over there, 7.2. 7.2 kilometers. Is there anything over here? No? Looks good. Alright. Let us move on. And I guess this is all the way down to the muncher down below here. Yep. So is there anything exciting in and around here? This cacophony of mining spaces. Do you see this now? Especially how he was screaming at Andy Reid. Alright, let's get up here. Yeah, those look good. Oh, yeah. I've seen the memes. I've seen the memes. Oh. It's like one is, you better spay and neuter your pets. It's like, yeah, that's what you should do. Alright, we're just gonna get the hell out of this thing. I've gone through this place a billion times. Just like I was going to the other place a billion freaking times.
This cave is ours now. Because you killed everyone inside? In that case, shouldn't it be mine now? It's a blasted vicious circle.
Oh, I gotta clear the Crystal Cavern of Raiders. I got it. I got it. I'm smart. Let's go over here.
Let's check the other cave.
We're gonna bring up... Oh, wrong button. Here we go. Ooh, look at me. I'm level 7 now. I can control the universe.
Like they made themselves at home here. They even had time to put up a missile silo.
Great. Yes. Oh, these guys are here. The good commercial was the one with Arnold Schwarzenegger, Danny DeVito. Yep, that was great. Neighbor. I was saying neighbor. Yeah, that was freaking great. Yeah, they're too far away. Alright, let's go in the... Oh, don't hurt me. Yep, as soon as I seize all the
NFD station.
minerals and stuff in
Expect things
here.
to be a lot calmer from now on. Thank you. We are in your
Yeah,
debt.
just did. I don't know.
I'm glad I could help.
No,
Heading back to
there's a
your
giant
place
hole.
now.
There's a giant hole. There we go. Just banging my ship into the walls here just reminds me of any time that I need to get anywhere or do anything and I just bang my head against it. Happens all the time. Banged my head against a tree in the front yard here. Got a nice gash. Trying to take care of the pups. Things to do for love. Alright, well, I guess this is a much smaller cave. Yes. Yes. Alright. Ooh, what's this? I'll take a cargo unit. That's good by me. There was a Joe Scott video, I think it was, where he went over the details of what it would be like to have a ring system around the planet. And it was comprehensive and interesting, and also terrifying. I do watch Folding Ideas, absolutely. Try to keep up with him, actually. Got you. Got you. Alright, what do we get? Thermogun. We are not at. Okay, we gotta go over here. Alright, let's take this thing. Yep. Alright, let's come in for landing.
So, about those keys.
This is highly unofficial, but there is a decommissioned jump gate at the grid district
Oh no.
that may contain old keys.
Don't be checking out my background.
I was hoping for a more
That's not
straightforward
cool.
solution.
It is indeed a dubious solution, but for a dubious character. You see, while you were gone, I ran a background check. Your name is Adam Roslin. You are a fugitive sought by the Colonial Fleet.
Scrap. Didn't expect a G&B officer to be so diligent.
Well, we have a bit of time on our hands out here. I also learned that you were a wingman assigned to Craig Callahan's squad.
This G&B
Wingman
Corp
who
really
apparently
sucks.
died defending a doomed engineer.
It's not
Because
great.
Callahan abandoned him didn't make him doomed.
And that is precisely why I am helping you. Because in management's
I don't know how he keeps up with the quality of his video with the pace he's
Fields
on.
and Cito are drying up.
He's got a
Director
team.
Blakemore
That's what he
makes more
does.
profit from
And he's
our
got
life
money.
insurance than from what we actually mine. Everyone should
It's hard to
be
do
down
all
for
this
that.
stuff when it's just
I'll
you
search the junk
putting
cave
it
for
all
those key
together.
signatures then.
At Charybdis, yes. And should you require some additional funds, we have
Alright,
a
let's
few
get
cents
outta
on
here.
the job board.
Sounds good. Thanks and good luck.
Likewise, Mr. Roslin. Out
And he's
here,
got people,
we
he
all
co-writes
live.
his scripts with a couple people. I think someone else edits his stuff. So, like, yeah. Nah. I mean, it's not a big team or anything, but it's a couple people. Alright, let's get to... He's also got to do a lot of research. It's nuts. Alright, let's go to this jump gate. These strange coordinates. Where is this thing? Oh yeah, we gotta go. Gotta go somewhere. Got all this game to discover still. Let's go look at this thing. Alright, who else is here? Take everyone? Seems too easy. A wiring kit. I can go install a car stereo if I wanted to. Oh, where are all these guys? Oh, they're down over here. Now I'm going to use my shocking rays. What else is left? This is just for that one dude. You know in the tutorial they tell you not to use this just for like one dude. Not that it matters too much because it just recharges anyway. Nanobots. How's your night going, Cheese? What you up to? Urban Planning got 16K? Yeah, it is crawling through the freaking ceiling right now. I'm actually a little scared that people are gonna subscribe to this channel, which they have been, and then it's like, oh wait, this dude does gaming primarily? So then that gets my brain jogging about doing more of the city-oriented content that I talk about, like putting my money where my mouth is, and you know, it's like, how does that work? At 900 views, yeah, it started blowing up yesterday. Yesterday I had 102 subscribers, and so far today it's like 124. The record, my record, is 180 subscribers in a day. And that was earlier last year during the whole System Shock thing. So I don't think it's going to hit 180 unless it blows up tonight and a bunch of people don't leave because they saw me streaming, which has happened. But, yeah. It's heckin' nuts. Alright, what's going on here?
We are in need of urgent assistance.
Got you. Good. I gotta take this liquor.
I think that was it. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, and Starfield is still doing really strong. I'm really excited about that. I'm also excited about on the 24th we were recording a Starfield versus the 4 gamers thing that we tried to get going last time. And yeah, that's exciting. Alright, Alright, let's get out of this pocket. Let's see how many subscribers this thing's at already. Travel to this thing. 321, yeah. People are so nihilist about urban planning content. It's nuts. Let's go to this distress call. Take that. Got you.
We're under fire.
Got you, buddy.
Cross another one off.
That's right.
Got him in my crosshairs.
Yep, they're out of there. Audi 5000.
Okay, I think we're clear. Thanks a lot for your help.
I love the push this thing does when it does that. Going to work. Hey man, go for the money. Become an urban planning channel. God, I know. If that video is gonna pop off the way it does, on basically just algorithmic enjoyment, I think putting together, you know, how to get involved with your local community is would be a big draw. I've already registered the account. I just haven't done anything with it yet. Trib, no. No, I don't want to. Oh, that's pretty. Yeah, so where is the...
Okay, let's find the
What do I
gate
need
and
to
those
do?
signatures.
Let's look at the... I think I just did these.
Good evening, sir.
How you doing, Mr. Baldy? Welcome, welcome. Can you hear me?
Let me adjust some of these settings real quick.
Oh, heck, settings are great. I love
Hold on
settings.
just a moment. It's still too loud.
Where the heck is this thing? No, this is just pretty.
Okay, how about now?
I hear you. I hear you loud and clear. That's just pretty. Oop. There we go. I like having a
Nope,
screenshot
that's
button.
still
now.
giving me fits. Yours is lighting up, but I'm not hearing you just yet.
All right.
Yeah, it's weird. I put on a headset the other night for part of this, and I wasn't sure if it got stuck on there.
Uh-huh. On the other hardware. It takes so long to upload a screenshot to the Xbox network. It's kind of nuts. That's a freaking scrap pile right there. Matt Pat said the key is to have 5 videos when you launch a new channel. Food for thought. I actually just watched Colin and Samir, where he sat there with Matt Pat and Steph, and I don't know either of them. I've watched a couple minutes of a Game Theorist's video once, and it is not for me. But yeah, I was like, I do have to create a couple things. Now, granted, they are a couple of people. They are some people. So they can sit there and create a bunch of new content, which I cannot. But I would load up. I would load up on content. Do it that way.
Which one would you prefer to be then? The person voicing over, like on the camera, or the person behind the scene editing?
Yeah, I think both. But I wouldn't do the Matt Pat thing.
If you were
I'm
in a duo, if you had to be in a duo.
If I had to be in a duo, I would definitely be the person in front, and I would have, then I would just hand off the hard creative work, because, I mean, there are people who edit far better than I do, but I think like the core of the video, you know, the research and the opinionation and whatever, I think that's what attracts people to this channel.
Yeah.
So that's what I would do. I would hand that off. Can I get off of this thing? What's up?
Enomino?
Anamino 239. I can't deny their success. Yeah, I don't know them well enough. They seem kind of like content farmy. Like they do like 11 videos a week, and that's a lot of videos. That's like Linus Tech Tips.
Yeah, those guys are crazy. So I was reading the chat just a little bit there. You got a good discussion going with Cheeseworks. Have you seen like some more news with Cody, whatever?
Yeah, Cody.
Okay.
Shody. Uh-huh.
Yeah. So his, for example, is a good example of, I think he films a lot of it, you know, and then the girl that's on there with him sometime edits it. And I know there's a lot of other ones that do that. Oh man, I'm totally blanking on his name. H Bomber guy.
Yeah, he's got his producer.
Right. And to me, I would do exactly what you are, because I would love to just film it and then hand it to somebody else and let him do the hard part. Because the editing to me is not. It is really fun to line it up when it works, but you're infinitely more experienced in that. Do you ever find yourself slogging down on a video thinking, man, I know this will be good, I just have to force myself to get through editing?
Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes, yeah. It's depending on the, like, Giant Bomb was tough because there were so many sources that I was pulling from. Like, when I'm doing a game, you know, I've got everything cataloged, everything's good to go. All I have to do is just slide this in, do this right. But when there are times in the script where I have to talk about specific things, and a lot of specific things really quickly, and maybe I have to do graphics, there was, for Starfield, I had for months planned to make a bunch of graphics when I was talking about the load screens and stuff like that, and how how the load zones were segregated and then kind of complicated as Bethesda games went. But I was kind of like, no, I can just use footage to describe this, because so many people tell me that are like, hey, I only listen to your stuff. And it's like, well, I guess I don't need to spend all that freaking hard work doing a billion hours of graphic design or After Effects or something like that. Like the most elaborate element in the Starfield video was the that new intro. And
There's got to
fun
be
to
a
do.
fine line on that too. And again, I do that a lot with these guys, and I would like to see what other people in the chat may say. For me, it was some channels are put it on play on the second monitor and then just watch it.
That's
and
that's
then,
what I do.
Right. And then sometimes I watch it. So like if it's a person that's just talking at the camera, I'm almost never watching them. I'm just listening. But if it's like yours where there's video game footage, especially if there's going to be the kind who can say, now look right here, you see me walk up to this guy and see how his hand is floating and it doesn't spawn right? I'm like, oh yeah, I got to see this to know what he's talking about.
Right,
That's a big
right.
difference.
I'm here for your opinions, Nick, at the end of the day. Well, thank you.
Aren't we all, though, really?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I'm just a guy in the world. Did you catch the part where it was talking about urban planning and the new video and all that stuff?
Yeah, I was reading a little bit of it on, had it on the background, talking about folding ideas and some of those other kind of people with the urbanist thing that, the channels are hot. It's a big deal. I don't know, though, if everybody has a vested interest, but my personal draw to yours would be because of the aforementioned political history. And I hate to use that phrase, that makes it sound like you're a fat cat in Washington or something. But, the fact that you've
like
had...
Mr. Burns was complaining about, right.
Right. Like you've had your ear to the ground. You've worked in publications, which is just really wild. You've interviewed a variety of people in there. You know how commerce and that kind of stuff works. So you would be a neat take on it in my mind. Cheeseworks asking about your political history there. I know that's not the right phrase. How would you describe it?
I would honestly, that seems kind of about right. When I moved back to Colorado Springs in 2015, because I lived in Colorado Springs from '97, and we moved to Phoenix in 2013, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna go do this because friends and I were starting up this website, Flesh Eating Zipper, and what is going on with this ore? I don't know how the fuck to do this. I was like, we're coming back, and a couple years later we did, and so when I got back, I immediately registered to vote. We did the caucus and stuff, because I wanted to be involved. I even wanted to run for representative for office where I was at, which was not really possible because it's a really red district up where I was at. So then I started getting involved with the party. I started to get to know people, and what the heck did the game... Oh, I don't like that at all. And so I know so many people politically. I have friends who've run for office and won. I even helped one out with her political campaign.
I remember some of that, yeah.
Yeah, so I know those people, and kind of just hand in hand with that, it's like, well, where do I fit? Do I do state? Do I run for federal? Like, blah, blah, blah. It's like, no, I want to get involved with the city. So, and this was years ago. The thing is, so you run for mayor, you can run for city council. City council here only pays $62.50 a year. So that means the only people who run are pensioners or the independently wealthy or the spouses of the independently wealthy. And so it's like, no, I can't freaking do that. I still can't freaking do that. So I told someone in an interview for a job that I didn't get, I was like, barring, if they can boost the pay, I would absolutely run for city council, because I know I've had to study so much of the city, and then in doing the art stuff, like kind of getting a feel for what the creative economy is like, and what the art scene and what's needed, the kind of that public investment, that kind of helped fill that in too. And then you add the transit stuff on top of that, and it all just kind of coalesces. So yeah, so the idea is that I was actually scared, because yesterday this channel got 104 new subscribers.
Wow.
And then today it's up to about 124, and it's still going. And
Does it tell you where those guys came from, the subscribers? Like
no,
click-throughs, or do you know the video that did it? You don't know?
it tells the video. I think it tells you the day after or something. But I think it's largely because of the urbanism one, which is why I was scared as soon as I start doing the as soon as I start streaming or whatever, people will be like, oh no, it's a gaming channel, I'm out. So with the popularity that and remember, Baldy, I didn't have it go out to subscribers directly. I turned that off because I didn't want to, like scare the people who are into this for my gaming stuff. It was like, what the heck is this city planning crap? I didn't want to do that.
Yeah.
I was really scared, like, oh, I'm going to start losing a bunch of people. And then earlier today, it's like, well, geez, what if I started making the content that I wanted to see in the world? So I've registered the channel. I've got some very loose ideas, but then it's like, well, when am I gonna do that stuff? Like, how am I gonna do that stuff?
Yeah.
And I would do a couple videos to like kick it off. But if that's something that's popular, hey, what the heck? Let's go for it.
I want to come back to that real quick. Cheeseworks is asking, is city council essentially a full-time job?
Yes.
I don't know. Is it?
Oh yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
it is. It is like even a more than full-time job, because you're city council and there's like minimal staff assistants. So you're having to do all, you get your packets, you're having to go through all the stuff that comes up in the meetings, and et cetera, et cetera. But then you're also, the city council here is also the board of directors for the publicly owned utility, Color Springs Utilities. So it's like two jobs in one a bit. So, and then any of the other obligations that pop up.
Yeah, I know that varies slightly by region or city size or other things, but that does sound like it would be one of those things. So if you were to pursue the the other urban videos, urban planning, things like that, do you think those would take the same amount of time? Because off the top of my head, the big difference would be you're not sitting there recording gaming footage and all of that. Would you be able to do anything differently to speed it up?
Yeah. What I would do is focus more on graphics, and then shooting footage out in the world and stuff like that, and then also getting interviews, coordinating schedules, and then trying to talk to the city, because they're all kind of like really protective about this and that, like who's talking to who and about why, what's the intent of this interview, blah blah blah. That's a pain in the butt, but city councilors will do whatever the heck they want. They're leaders. So it'd be great to have the mayor in here to talk about stuff and this and that. It would be and it'd be 20-minute videos. They wouldn't be hours and hours long. So
I don't know, a super deep cut long form video essay, or LOFO as our friend Yahoo calls them.
Yes,
I could see you doing a 2-hour 33-minute video about sidewalks in your area or something like that.
Yeah, and then like who to talk to about that. Like who's actually in charge of that, because there are so many people who've replied to that urbanism video. They're like, how do you even get started? And it's like, if I can find a way through and talk about, because so many people are going, oh, but it's so specific to each area and la 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 la, and it's like, if you started talking about what it's like to live in your area, and who's in charge of what, and what the process is like, and what it's like to get involved and be an advocate and all that, I think you got it. I think if you just have that introductory piece that lays out fundamentals and what the government does, even if it's here, what a strong mayor is, what the legislation does, and et cetera, what budgeting's like, I think you can get pretty far.
Yeah. Especially with the modern technology approach. I know that on a couple different videos, guys will say this isn't the exact footage, but it looks like this, or this is I got somebody on TaskRabbit or whatever to go take a video of this bridge where I was, and this is what it is. You know what I mean? You can source the footage
Yeah.
in a variety of ways, and then of course you knowing your area and being real familiar with your town, you could really hit those as much as you wanted.
Exactly. And then I think it would be kind of a good work vibe. I don't know if you're familiar with his channel.
Good work?
Good work, yeah.
I don't think so.
It's kind of a humorous, like snarky thing. He's a guy in a trench coat. He's in New York, and he's talking about economics, and he's kind of taking the piss.
Yeah, I think it just showed up on mine about gambling, maybe gambling,
Yes,
sports gambling.
Yep.
Oh, how wild! Algorithm strikes again. Yeah, but as soon as you said trench coat, I was watching this guy, and I couldn't tell. Was he being serious or just having a laugh?
He's doing kind of the Climate Town thing with that Rolly does, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, oh wait, that's a reflective surface. I know what I need to do. Where did I put that thing? I just had it. I just had the reflective surface. Yeah, that basically that kind of. So it'd be something closer to that. Entertaining, but also educational, just to get people going, because I think they're just disheartened. Like, there's so many people who are just kind of nihilistic about it. There's no point. It's all conspiracy, lobbies everywhere, blah.
Right.
It's like, well, that doesn't help anyone.
Well, no, and talking to my 18-year-old, she's in college, she's studying engineering, and she wants to, she's still full of vim and vigor and wants to be part of the solution, as they say.
Yeah.
And we were talking about some of that, and she's like, I just get so tired of watching these videos where they go, here's reason 927 why America sucks, or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like, and you and I, and again, had some really great discussion on your Discord channel about this, because we were like, there's a difference in calling awareness to it, doing something, militant activism and all these things. They all, perhaps you could say, have a place or a role, but the trick for me is always, what do I do now? What helps me help other people right now where I am without having money or moving to another country or, buying off a politician or something like that.
Right. And the fact that these creators kind of get, like, not just bikes, get off on just move. Have the money to just move and not have to deal with that. And it's like, buddy, you weren't even there to... You don't even know how to fight for this, really. I mean, people have said, like, hey, Jason will talk about advocacy and that on streams or, on a Patreon thing, like, kind of in the back corners, but not in his primary content. And I don't know. In my mind, it seems easy what the middle is between talking about induced demand again, or talking about the benefits of bike infrastructure again, or Strodes are, and actually doing the stuff that makes sense. And people were actually kind of vibing with what that Strong Towns video that I featured was like. Yeah, it's doing little painting lanes and stuff like that is cute, but it's not a long-term solution to anything. It's just like, oh, we did our good turn.
Yeah.
We showed up this week.
Always tricky. Always, hard to know that, but it would be interesting to see what you did with it. Do you think you have for lack of a better word, a calling to make videos or content based on that?
It seems like it. Just based on how popular this video is with, like, this video, the Urbanist video has been popping up algorithmically for people, even though it didn't show up in the subscriber feed, and it is really popular. I think there's a lot of people who are hungry for it, and I don't know if that content exists in a pure format, like people are pointing out individual the urbanity videos or this and that, but I think it's a lot of just education. And so the goal then would be to include someone from the city with each video to provide a perspective on what that, or an organizer, like,
Yeah.
you know, especially around bikes. There are so many really cool bike advocates here, and I've talked to a few on our old podcast, badly needed and long overdue,
Yeah.
a couple years back. That would be cool. Like every single video, like have a guest who's into this, who's fighting for this, and talk about how they got involved and what they needed to do and what that's like when it was started and who was in charge of this and that, etc.
You know what it made me think of is you could have, similarly, because that would be obvious, right? That would be the people whose views align with yours and mine, and the other ones who kind of favored your current video. But,
Right.
And even without getting into that political side of the politics, you could have a video series that's basically who are you and what do you do?
Yeah.
And you could grab any politician, anybody who's involved in the government level there, including civil employees or unelected people, the page, the assistant, whatever, and just
Yeah.
say, hey, who are you? What do you do? What's your impact on the city? And just
Right.
let them kind of sit down and say, well, I'm this guy, I draft laws, or I'm this person, I help schedule appointments for the senator, or whatever it is.
Yeah. What that, because in government there's basically the two sets of people. There are the politicians who
Right.
dictate what the priorities are, and then the people who under them, the professional staff, the 6-figure salary people who actually get the stuff done, and their job is not to be partisan and have opinions like that, essentially. But the big thing would be just being able to talk to those people, because the city is very protective about interviews, especially with city staff. And
Oh,
obviously
are they?
The mayor is a very busy dude.
Well, that makes sense, yeah.
Yeah, because then you got to be media trained, and you got to do this and that, and
You got to play by the rules.
You got to play by the rules. Your messaging has to be on point. They're sitting there with their PR handlers, essentially, and minding P's and Q's, making sure that no one says something that's off message.
Yeah.
That's
would
why
be good.
whenever I would write, something that I needed the city's opinion on, it'd be like, all right, I'm sending this off to the comms team, and they're gonna go through and find who needs to respond to this and make sure everything's good. It's like, yep, that's sort of the pain. So figuring that stuff out, but there's fun things to tackle, like obviously like the shape of the government, what the government does, but then like public bathrooms. Like if I'm downtown and I need to pee, where am I supposed to go?
Mm-hmm.
Then that's a big freaking deal. So
Yeah, that one's going to be around for a bit.
yeah,
Would expect
exactly.
it to change and frustrate. So combining the interests, do you think there is a game in this? Because you have played more than a few city management games,
Yeah.
and their videos are on your channel. What about though some kind of Sims mayor, virtual mayor type of game? Do you think something could be made like that, where you'd have to either physically run your guy around and attend meetings, or you'd have to determine what rules, regulations and whatnot to pass for your city to thrive? Would that work, or would it just be too niche of an audience?
I have had a dream city builder game in my mind for a while, and what it starts out in is like colonial, like, or even Wild West, where after we've wiped out all the natives in a ruthless act of genocide, this land is ours now, and you're a landowner, and it would be like essentially like turn-based, I think.
Okay.
It'd be turn-based, and so you'd have a plot of land, and your neighbors would come in, and everyone would have to start making decisions, and eventually, depending on where the horses went, where the cows are going at, those end up becoming the roads of the city, like the thoroughfares. And as you work through the eras, as the size grows up, because you could do like a historical one, or you could just do a time independent one, but eventually you get to enough people where it's like, hey, we need to get something a little bit more complex going on. Why don't we incorporate as a town? Let's go to the state and do that. And then you have a government, and then you can run for office. Or maybe you don't. Maybe there's an AI that runs, and you're just this landowner, and you become a developer, and you're filthy rich. And of course, the people who get there first are the ones who make all the money.
Always.
And so then you just see over this period of hundreds of years that this town developing organically as you go along, and everyone starts paying attention. You develop these master plans for really complex works that take a few years to do, but you architect them. They have a price tag. You have to figure out where that money's coming from, and hopefully it doesn't get too nuts as far as granularity, because that can get really boring.
Sure.
But it's like, hey, I got to talk to the governor. We got to talk to the feds about this thing. We got to lure jobs, and eventually it kind of mutates over time. And there's definitely plenty of historical stuff you can integrate into that, from redlining and how highways and car dependency and all the stuff that we hate about our cities today that we're trying to move away from. Then you can get to a point where, yeah, I'm managing bike lanes and we're rezoning this thing, but it makes people unhappy, but they're kind of older, so they'll be dead soon anyway. So that kind of thing. There's a lot of options. That's like that's like my ideal city building game.
That could be really neat. I mean, I did like. I haven't played nearly as many as you or a few others on Discord when we were chatting about it, but I really enjoyed SimCity on Super Nintendo because it broke me into it, and you did have to kind of think, well, I want to build this thing faster. Is it worth raising taxes and having them hate me? Or before I could get my railway set up, I always went with a little bit of road, and they always go, oh, pollution, and you're like, oh man, come on, guys.
Yeah.
So, and then
especially when things are really pollutionary.
Yeah, it's like I'm doing
industrial revolution.
It's like, your kids will be fine. Cheeseworks mentioning redlining and gerrymandering. How would that work into a game, huh?
Yeah, that's absolutely. They're very complex things where you kind of carve up a particular neighborhood into little slivers so that it can be dispersed among, more rural areas of another.
Oh, and then a difficulty setting could incorporate lobbyists, like that you would show up in the morning. Good morning, Mr. Mayor. Wow, you look great today. Hey, listen, just a minute of your time here. Just wanted to, just really quickly wanted to tell you this thing, and you're like, oh, here it comes.
Yeah, and actually to that end, you have say you're spending a bunch of turns trying to push forward this new redevelopment, right? Like you're redeveloping downtown or something like that. You're spending all these years getting public support, and then someone rolls a dice, and all of a sudden dark money comes into it and sends out flyers saying that it's a socialist scheme, and then all of a sudden you lose 50% approval overnight, and it's like, oh my god, are you serious?
That would be the SimCity equivalent of the Bowser attack or an earthquake or something.
Yes.
You'd be in there and you hear that dun 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 dun.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh no.
Yeah, except no, I lost my support to redevelop this mall into a mixed use new development. Because they're scared about crime.
Somebody put a deep fake of you up on the social media in a compromising position with a local athlete, and you're like, oh no.
No.
Quick, spin.
I just want to be a mayor.
All right, give me a second. I'll be right back.
All right. Nick's going to be busy. Nth Review, Urban Planning Channel, and a gaming studio. God. I know. And it's weird because I'm on that other side of that cusp where I don't have enough time to do the one thing. I would love to be able to hire someone to work with me on these videos. But, yeah, I think between two channels I'd keep them real busy. I actually just tested out my recorder, and it works really good for outdoor recording. So that's pretty cool. I'll take that. Where is this stupid thing that I'm trying to find? The Neftese plane station. That's a fighter. There's supposed to be a broken jump gate somewhere, and I'm trying to find it. I don't appreciate it not being like right here. I don't want it to be. I'm running up against the boundaries of the level. Well, here's a container. I'll take a container. Wait. Oh, I'll take a ship color. Yeah. Royal Navy. I gotta go through and change my ship color because I do not like this white and red. Oh, and thank you, Compost. You're the best. I got your message. Just listen to me nerd out. I'm happy to be in a room where I can just nerd out about stuff and you guys want to hear it. That's just fun. That's exciting. As someone who generally leans more conservative, I enjoy your views. Is it not an echo chamber? I grew up conservative, so being able to assign a weight to what cities do and what governments should do and how they should serve as an agent of the people instead of just cynically, nah, they're all crooks and self-interested and that, like, it helps things get things done. It's amazing how many people run for office around here, win, and then they're like they have to do the government job. And some of them do just sit there and just waste time, but others are like, oh wait, there's stuff I actually have to do, and they take more middle of the road positions afterward, after they realize what the city should be doing or what the county should be doing, and how much of a pain in the butt it is when you barely have enough resources to do what you need to do. Let's talk with this thing. I've got ship colors, but I've also got, I can combine these things. Craft a new item to update your equipment. Alright, let's see. Holds rate, damage, expertise. Hull hit points, critical hit chance. Yeah, that seems pretty good. Which more bald? You or bald? I think we're equally bald, especially since I shaved this morning. Hanger. There we go. Where is my... I wonder... There's gotta be... Where's all the colors? I don't have enough of whatever the hell is going on. I appreciate dudes who embrace the bald. So before I went bald in 2006, I had shoulder length hair that was kind of thinning up top, and my mom was so mad. Not mad, but you know, moms. And she's like, I will pay to have you cut your hair because you look like a girl. And it's like, oh, I don't, but sure. And I wanted to do something that, like, hair was getting irritated. I remember driving to work and like just like blowing all over the place, pain in the butt. And so find the jump gate at Triptis Bull Tax. It's in here somewhere. Where is this? So we went and got my hair cut, and I was like, shave it all off. And they still left, like, I don't know, like half an inch kind of all around. So I had to go home and shave the rest. Oh, I guess this is where it's supposed to be. But I had it all shaved. I was like, yeah, I'm good. So I shaved it off. Had it cut.
What
It
did
was
I come
donated.
back to here? We're talking baldness now, huh?
We're talking about baldness, yeah. We're don't die.
Who is more bald, you or Baldy? In terms of actual hair, if you count beard, Nick would have more.
Yeah.
I got a long goatee. It's long, but it's not as much.
I think by volume, I think you might have more.
Maybe.
Maybe.
But in terms of bald domes, it's going to be a tie.
Yeah. And so I was bald for 6 months, and then I'm like, all right, let me try hair again. And I grew that out for 6 months, and I'm like,
Really?
no, I'm good. And
You still have, if you grew it out now, is it all still there?
no,
Okay.
it is very thin on top.
Yeah. I started losing mine at 21, so I just shaved it all. Like, I had finally got it down to, like, shoulder length. I was finally going to be my inner 80s metal guy, and it was too late. So I was like, you know what? If I can't do it long, I'm going to do none, and I chopped it off.
Yeah. It's I love it. And I actually just got one of the, watching all those Joe Scott videos, I got one of those Henson shavers that are all over YouTube ads now.
Okay.
Because I'd had a Gillette Mach 3 blade for the longest heckin' time. Actually, I've still got it, but it was the handle that they gave me for enlisting the selective service.
Yeah.
And that's the same handle that I had from way back then. I still have it, and I was just buying blades for it. And then I saw the ad for the Henson shaving, and I'm like, yeah, let's mix it up, whatever. And I love it. It took a couple weeks to get used to it, but it is so much cheaper. I'm still on my. They give you like a $10 box of blades for it, and I still have, I want to say, like half of it still a year and like 14, 15, 16 months later.
Yeah.
It's safety razors are amazing. And it's blue. It's that anodized blue aluminum. So, I'm not being paid for a spot here, this endorsement, but I really like that safety blade, and I have not touched
And
my Gillette
endorsement
since.
deals welcome. Just drop a line.
I thought Baldy, I thought, like, what if the Nth Review blows up? Do I take sponsorship deals? Do I take sponsorship deals on videos that are going to be like 2-3 hours long, that are immortal, for like Raid Shadow Legends or Henson shaving, or there's obviously, or Surfshark, or it's like, do I really want that? Is that really
I have no
what I'm
idea
in
how
for?
people balance those. I mean, I like so you ever watch Ryan George with pitch meetings and all that stuff?
Yeah.
I'm a massive fan. He cracks me up consistently, and additionally, I think professionally, he's got his stuff down. He's got his shtick. He knows, like, on his personal stuff at the end, it's always, "Hi, it's me, the astronaut. I'm floating around in ad space."
Yeah.
I love it. You know where it is. I kind of don't like the guys who try to trick you in, like you're in the middle of something, and go, "Oh, and that reminds me, how are you fixed for throwaway razor blades? Because here we go with Bob." You know what I mean? You're like, "Oh, dude."
Right.
I don't envy that, though. I don't know. What did you decide? Did you decide you would go for it?
I have not decided, because I'm not getting offers, but I thought, like, well, hypothetically, down the road, would I?
Right.
Would I? And I don't. If I decide that I want to do, city stuff, it makes more sense there in a 20-minute video, honestly. But for a review,
Yeah.
where it is, immortal, it's like, that seems really cheap and weird. As long
Right.
as it's
Well,
not
so
better
you,
help, yeah. Get
yeah,
that bag,
yeah.
Nick.
You didn't do what you could do. I don't
Yeah.
begrudge those guys. I mean, you know, it's out there and it's tricky. I do
Yeah.
think.
And you
Have
gotta
you
send
looked
that
at,
off for...
considering what else could take place? Have you looked at like Nebula or any of those kind of places?
Nebula seems neat, and I would totally be down for that. I was watching, I don't know if you're around, but I was watching Simon Clark. He's a climate scientist,
Okay.
and he was talking about he wasn't quitting, but he was definitely like, I don't know what the way forward is, because the 2 videos I did this year were doing like, he's got 500,000, almost 600,000 subscribers, if I remember right. And his last videos did 17K each. And he's done 2 of them this year. And so he's like, I don't know how to make content that's nerdy about climate, that's economically sensible, essentially. And,
Right.
And he had 2 big breaks that he took last year because his father passed and then he had a kid. And that's a tough situation to be in.
Yeah.
And he did Nebula content, but it seems you have to shape your content in such a way that it is palatable for the YouTube audience, which makes sense. But yeah, I was watching his video and it's like, man, I don't even know. I can't even think of how you resolve that.
Yeah.
How do you rethink your entire content strategy as this thing that you are to gain more eyes and ears and more
And
attention?
it kind of becomes that whole monster of how far do I want to go to bring my art, content, work, creation to the masses.
Yeah.
You know, like if we had the great artists back in time, and it's like, you know, would Van Gogh have had to snuck a little Squarespace ad in the corner of his painting because that was how he did it,
Set up a Patreon.
right?
Yeah.
I mean, some of those guys literally had patrons, which is where Patreon gets its things. Like some
Right.
people, and to me, it's just the coolest. That's right up there with Star Trek levels of we don't need, you know, we've evolved beyond the need of money, is somebody to realize what you're doing adds art to humanity. I will fund you. And some of them historically said, I never want to meet you. I never want to see you face to face. I just want to pay you that you'll do this, you know, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
That
that's kind of
would
the
be,
vibe I get from like
Yes.
my Patreon or my Substack. 'Cause
Yeah.
I have a Substack for that. And
I was doing that. I was on Nebula. I mean, as a payer, not a. I don't have content, but I
Yeah.
like it because I feel like all those people get my money, and it's a thing where I don't even. Every now and then I'll forget to go on there and look. I'm so used to YouTube, but I don't really care because I know somebody's getting that, and I need to go click some videos so they get it. But to me, that's just that works for where I am right now.
Where did that come from?
yeah, exactly. It's like I just want this stuff to exist.
Yeah.
And it's weird to see like people who came to the Nebula chain like later. There's like you'll see this extra content on this site that my friends and I put together, my fellow content creators put together.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, no, it was kind of, they did that afterward, or
Yeah.
they did that a long time ago, and you're kind of joining it. I would love to have a Nebula thing,
Yeah.
because I think my content kind of slides in there, but I don't know. That'd be
I
kind of
think if you explored the urbanism, it would. I think the way that you've done the videos, especially the ones that I like that are again 2 or 3 hours. I don't know. I have not looked at there. Have you looked to see if they have long content on Nebula?
I don't know, actually. I don't have Nebula. I've been meaning to, and then I just never do, because it's like I wanted to get it so I could share it with a friend.
Yeah.
And then I never did, and then.
Yeah.
But you know, it'd be cool. It'd be cool to see, you know, Lindsay Ellis again. And all that. Cheeseworks, I just hope you do a minimal amount of research and don't promote those 4x4 plots of Irish land scams. Yeah. Yeah. I would definitely do that.
And
Alright, well, I guess we're going to the Oh, alright, we're doing Star Fox.
This is a very interesting game. I know nothing about it, but I've watched you. You're kind of like a little hovering ship just floating around doing whatever. And yeah, I'm getting a very Nintendo 64 vibe from some of these levels right here.
Oh, yeah.
The Star Wars, what was the one with Dash Rendar?
Shadows of the Empire.
Yeah. And some of the other ones, and of course, like you said, Star Fox, of course, with just random doors opening and closing, lasers going.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And it looks like, so you fly a ship and you can shoot and do stuff, but you also pick up? Like, are you picking up stuff while you're flying?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay.
Doing kind of the grabby bits. And,
on Game Pass, okay.
yeah, this...
I'm off my Game Pass sub right now, but this is a thing I could see coming back to. Because if I had Game Pass, I'd totally load it up and be like, oh yeah, sure, let's just see what it is.
Yeah, this is... I was not expecting to enjoy this, you know, after the first day or so, you know, because every game I played so far, it's like, yeah, that's interesting, but I don't want to play more of that. And then all of a sudden, magically, I play this. It's like, I really want to play more of this. This is really interesting. So yeah, this is fourth session to this, and I really dig it. It's really interesting. It's an RPG-ish, but it's also, yeah, it's an action game.
I was looking at Enshrouded for a while, and it's been the thing that I've been playing. I kind of hit a frustration spot. Not anything major, just more like I don't feel like it's also ready to go. You know, you have a lot of grinding, and if you charge ahead too far, the enemies will smack you right back into your spot, and it's okay.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm real picky on that. Like, I don't like to play a game that feels too gamey, such as carve 9 of these things and sculpt 9 of these things, and then you can go over to this thing and pick up this, and now you can build that. It's like, I want to kind of just, how can I get it, you know, whatever it is I'm trying to do. So I was trying to get some better armor, and eventually it's like, just, you can't, because there's the shroud in the title that you can't get beyond until you've got certain stuff done, and you can't update your base or whatnot until you have certain things in, all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? It's just like,
wow.
yeah,
Is this like
it's just,
Metroidvania style, or?
I think it's supposed to have a little bit of that, but I think, I don't know. To me, that sometimes is how people artificially extend the life of their game. It's like, well, you can't go here until you can build this at your base, and we'll hide this thing way across the map, so there's no way you can get there.
Right. Because you made a post in the Discord about it, and I don't know anything about that game at all. But it was like a Pal Worldy thing too, something like that.
Yeah, I don't know all about that, but it does sound like Pal beat them to the punch and tried to kind of do it. But if you've played Valheim or Conan or any of those other games, it's very same. The other big thing to me is there's no NPCs or villages to do anything in. There's 5 that you can rescue, and they like give you quests and stuff, but they literally just stand there and yell when you walk by. They're like, "Hey!" over and over and over if you get too close to them. And then everywhere you go is just hostile enemies, and so it's okay. I want more options in my games.
Yeah, I can completely understand that. Definitely early access. So
Yeah.
Cheese is saying.
Definitely. And again, easily could turn out to be fine. You know, it easily turn out to be great because it is early access. So I paid a little, like right around $30 for it, and I played for 30 hours, so I got my money out of it. That's totally cool. I'm hoping that they fix some of it up. Like right now, I feel like the skills aren't all balanced. They made double jump a skill you have to purchase, which to me just feels
Like Starfield.
lame. Yeah, exactly. That's where I was kind of thinking, is like, look, just go and say, no, you can double jump, you're fine.
Yeah,
But-
that seems really weird. And I've got kind of an aversion to
So do I. You know, this is a junkyard.
early access games anyway, before
Sure.
they've kind of gotten their core loop just right. There are some games like Satisfactory and that where they do have it, and then it's just kind of there. They need to fill things in and tweak them and make sure that the old stuff works with the new stuff.
Right.
But yeah, for the most part, like my friend Kelly got me into Prison Architect, like really early on.
Okay.
And I played like not a lot of it before it was, man, I really don't want to play it before it gets to finish.
Yeah. Yeah. You
And
can
then I
kind of
didn't end up
tell.
playing anyway. So
Yeah, you can probably tell. Like, I was looking at one thing online, and people are like, yeah, you're gonna want to go get this staff right away. It's really good. It's gonna help you with blah, and you know it's gonna get nerfed. And
Yes.
so everybody could kind of tell. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Like I remember a long time ago, was it Dead Island? The zombie game, really great game. Everything was good. For whatever reason, when it was launched, the generic kick attack had no stamina drain. So we just all knew eventually, like if your weapon breaks or you're swinging too much, start kicking, and you can get out of a jam. And we played like that for a month or 3, and then out of nowhere they patched it, and all of a sudden a kick takes stamina. And the outcry wasn't so much of a kick shouldn't take stamina, but more like you gave us so long to get used to it that now you're gonna throw everything off. It's more like you have to admit at that point, you're right. It's gonna stay that way. I don't know. I didn't like that, but on this game, I think it's got a lot of potential. I think they need to tweak a lot as they go. They seem to be really open to feedback,
which is good.
so yeah, I'm way more optimistic than not.
System. You're saying that everyone who isn't part of the company cannot leave Ceto?
Who makes Enshrouded?
Keen, I think.
Wait,
Oh, so it's not like some big developer.
No,
everywhere.
nobody that I know. It just shows up. All I know is that you know how like a lot of these studios have a little logo and like a guitar riff or something. It pops up with almost the opening to Stairway for Heaven.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and it's like
like,
it goes bun dun dun bling. I'm like oh legally distinct.
Just barely.
Yeah.
Definitely independent. Yeah. I guess that's how you get there.
Yeah.
I am so full of stuff.
Again, that was another thing too, is like learning what do I need for storage? What do I need for crafting? And eventually you get magic chests, which means when you go to a crafting item like the workbox or something, the desk to, what am I trying to say? Workbench. When you go there, you don't need to be holding the stuff on your person. It can pull it from those magic crates, which is a really neat twist. I like that kind of stuff.
Huh. I need some more circuitry. I think I'm finally getting to the point where I understand that I need to upgrade my stuff. Spare part circuitry. Yeah, that early access is tough because I think Satisfactory's hitting 1.0 this year. Finally, after I remember playing that in 2020, way back in the day. Yes, let's do this. Yes, upgrade that shield. Done.
So now I'm looking to pause on Enshrouded for a bit, kind of just scrolling through my library and doing stuff like this. You know, when you're on, kind of just taking a break, because I have a tendency of playing something until I've either beaten it all the way or I just made myself hate it.
That's fair.
So, yeah, so I'm like, you know what? This last time when I stopped the game, I was like, okay, I think I need a pause, and then I'll go somewhere else.
That's been
So we'll
the really nice part about streaming again is just, I just want to play a game I'm not reviewing.
Yeah.
That's pretty great. And just to do it a couple days a night, like, not a freaking deal. It's not my job. You know, it's just, I can be here and chat with people like Cheese.
Yeah.
And everyone be sure to hit that like button. You go press it before you forget.
Brotato is recommended by Cheeseworks. Brotato.
Yes, he's been playing it.
Have you played it? I've not heard this one yet.
I have not played it. No, I guess it's on Game Pass. That's what I
We have
think.
to take a look.
Quantum processor, I don't know that crap. I ain't got time for brotatoes.
Back in
I
my
ate
day, we had
brotatoes.
back in my day we had Broforce. And that was all we needed.
That was a game.
That was hysterical.
That was a game. I remember getting to was it the helicopter level, which was not that far into it.
Brutal.
That was way, especially like after getting to that point, it was pretty easy. But then it's like, oh my god, that ate me up. And then there was Super Time Force around that same time. That game was pretty brutal too, and you have a rewind mechanic.
Yeah.
So it's like, and it took them forever to make that game too. I remember that. And Capybara, what's Capybara been making? That they're one of the like Xbox 360 legends, like latter day.
Yeah.
They were one of the first like Xbox One exclusives. Because they weren't reaching out to indies like they had been on the 360, which was bizarre. That whole Xbox One era where they were doing the stuff that made them successful.
Mm-hmm.
How strange. How strange. Alright, I've already checked this thing. Yes. No, high capacity homing missiles. I'll take it. Alright. Alright, I guess we're out into the atmosphere. Alright, so is that where we're at? Grindstone developer. I don't know what Grindstone developer is. Pulse laser. Rapid cost cannon. Alright, where's our missions? Alright, we gotta go all the way to Rhodia 2. All the way back at the beginning of the game. I really like how this game handles interstellar space, which is this part.
Okay.
So you're actually like sailing between points, but in a very macro sense.
Okay.
And then as you go along, there can be random stuff that pops up.
Any word on the jump keys?
And that's cool. I wish Starfield had something like this instead of that map screen.
I know how to get through the gate.
Yeah.
Need a military
I don't know exactly how much of it I wanted it, but I wanted something else there.
Wait,
Yes.
we need a hive?
I'll tell you another one I may have mentioned. Oh, what was it? As soon as I said that, it left my head. It's kind of
Not sure I trust the sound
sim.
of those pauses.
Oh, goodness, I have to pull that up on my computer. You're up to 4 players on a spaceship, and you can like travel along, and you find like it's kind of Star Trekky, where you have to
Yes.
do traveling quests and whatnot. You can each man a station. Like one of
Yes.
them's the pilot, and one of them's an engineer. It's neat, and I dig it. I just wish, like Last Frontier or something like that. I just wish that there was more to do at the little stations. Like I was the guy who scanned planets and could do hacking attacks to them and or reroute the power when we were attacked. The problem was the enemy AI moves at the speed of AI. Like they can go bang, bang, bang. Like they can just floor you before my little brain can go, okay, what do I need to do? I need to open up the screen. I need to click on this button. It's like they've already got it.
There was a game. I remember like big in the iPad days, like 2013, where you would have each person would have a different set of controls, and you would have to communicate out loud.
Yeah.
What needed to be-
Yes. What was that?
It was like space game.
Spaceship Earth or something like that?
It was space something or another, but it was manic. That
Yeah.
game was.
My brother played that with my daughters when they were there, and they just loved it. They were just so loud and yelling and screaming. They're like, you'd be like, lower the force field, do this thing, do all that,
Yeah. Yeah, and it was like there'd be weird terminology. It's like unlock the pyro blaster, or something like that. It's like, who's got the schnozzwanger? It's like, I've got the schnozzwanger. Yeah, you need to set it to 3.
Right?
And
Did you ever get to play? That reminds me. Did you ever get to play Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes?
I have it on Steam, and I have not played
Me
it.
too! Oh,
Yep.
man.
Yeah, because you have to have that manual.
And I printed that manual on the office computer at the time, and I was like, oh, this was a good use of finances. And then
Of course.
I was so wanted to play it, and the thing that stopped me was it was just so hard to get it all in there. And what I really wanted to do was have like a trial, like timerless version, so where you could just learn the mechanics. But there was no such thing. It was just in there.
Because it seems like that's a game where I remember some of the steps were pretty complex, but it seems like after not terribly long, you could start to remember some of the key stuff. So it's like, oh yeah, just do the thing that we always do with the cheese mode on the thingy bobber on this side of the bomb, and then they just, oh yeah, okay, got it. Because I remember there was a back and forth, like, what does it say it is? What is it? We have to match the documentation to the instructions. Yeah. Yeah. Those are such an interesting concept, but you have to have a posse for that.
Yeah, and it would help to have the same ones.
Yes.
I've been trying Lethal Company with my brother and our friend, and we're still struggling with some of the mechanics. But one of you can stay behind on the ship, and like you have an overhead aerial view of like a radar type of thing of the other 2 guys running around, and so that kind of helps. And I like to be that guy coordinating because I'm fairly descriptive. And then they'll run and go, and our friend is just fearless. He'll just charge. He's good, so he's not going to be that, oh, I don't know. And my brother's kind of somewhere in the middle, so it works well. The controls are a little frustrating, and it has a real narrow field of view, so you spend so much time, turning around. I want to tweak that a bit.
Yeah, there are so many of these games where it's like, if they'd come out 20 years earlier, I would have so been down for those. Because when we were growing up, we played a lot of RTSs. We would play cooperatively by just kind of allying on each other.
Mm-hmm.
So in StarCraft, Red Alert. But we were always looking for new co-op experiences. And in the late 90s, there really wasn't any. And that was really frustrating. And now there's a billion of them, like tons of fun ones. And there's been the Borderland games in between. Like those would have been great when we were growing up too. It's like, kids these days are so spoiled.
Yeah,
They have everything.
All right, give me a half second. One more time, I'll come back.
All right. I'm excited to get to some other system. I mean, there's tons of stuff in this system I haven't even seen yet. Yeah, I get a companion. That's cool. I don't know what she's heckin' doing. There we go. Nanotechnology. that. I've got so much junk. I've just been collecting. Alright, that's not enough money. Okay. That's fine. I can... Oh, I gotta sell some of this stuff. We have to go... I still don't really get on these crafting things. So all these different resources and nonsense. Let me see. Let's see where the channel's at right now. People, oh god, people are so dumb. Oh my goodness. All right. Let's. I gotta go sell.
Do you have that same ship the entire time?
You can buy other ones, and they just got different trade-offs in like mass and size and stuff like that.
How important is that to you? Because to me, when I play a game, especially Starfield, I want to decorate my character and their ship or whatever it is like to the nines. I want to be able to go all out and change clothes, especially goofy stuff. How like I love pink and bright colors.
Yeah.
I'm always doing that. How important is it to you in a game that you're able to customize your character?
Less than I thought it would be. I remember the game that really kind of steered me on that was the original Forza Motorsport on the original Xbox.
Okay.
So this was 2005. I think it was April, right before the. So it was, yeah, I want to say it was the year before the three. It was the year the 360 came out, and it was one of the last first-party games that they did for the original Xbox. And you had, I don't know, it was like 1,000 layers of paint or something, and you could sit there on, I'm sitting there on this SD TV, trying to precisely place these shapes so that it can become something.
Okay.
And I remember I had finally gotten my Koenigsegg CC, or CC8S at that point, and I spent so much time doing a paint scheme for it, and then like 2 or 3 races later, I get a better car that I want to drive. And it's like, that was such a waste of time.
Have you heard of transmogrification? Is that right in these games? Like to transmog some gear, which means you make it look like something else, but it maintains the stats. So like if I found a Hawaiian shirt, I could wear it, but make it have the stats of the armor that I found, so I'm not just wearing something functioning. I may be saying the wrong word if somebody in the chat knows, but
I'm not familiar.
I played, what was the thing that I was playing that with? I found...
What are you doing playing video games The Bachelor is on? Oh my god.
Oh, Nick, fun fact, Nick always records The Bachelor because that's his primary channel. So when Nick does his videos for YouTube, it's Bachelor-related content. Then a little bit below that is, the games, and then the soon-to-come urban planning.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Yeah. And unfortunately, I look at my demographics, and it is pretty much exclusively men who are younger than me now. I am outside the bracket of I'm too old for my audience is where I'm at now. And I don't know if it's just kids who are nostalgic for games they didn't get to play or what.
I wonder.
Oh.
I mean, that's part of my theory, especially when you look and see all of these pixely looking games that are so the rave, like Shovel Knight or something,
Yeah.
to me, it's just a slightly better version. Not, I mean, graphically, not gameplay wise, but and looking at some of those, they look slightly better than a Super Nintendo game did back in the day. So I've seen it, played it. I don't. It's not a big thing to me, but for a lot of them, they're really like, "Oh, this is the best. Oh, this is great."
Yeah. And I think that's kind of just where like indie games are these days. Because otherwise you're spending $1 billion making games, trying to make them high fidelity. They take up tens or hundreds of gigabytes of storage, and it's like, oh my god. Like when
Yeah.
games were coming down the pipe, that like Red Dead Redemption 2 or something, that was one of the first big ones. It's like, yeah, make sure to clear 120 gigabytes on your console. Like, are you serious?
Yeah.
Are you serious? I remember Xbox 360 games were like 5 gigabytes. PlayStation 3 games had those Blu-ray discs, and they were intentionally having to include high fidelity audio in 7 languages to fill that thing up. And but now it's like a whole thing. Younger kids get to have the aesthetic of what we had. But I play a game like Dead Cells, and that looks far better than anything that we had growing up. But it's got that chunky aesthetic
Mm-hmm.
to it as well. There was, I don't know if you saw the news, but the like former lead designer or something of Dead Cells got really mad because Motion Twin announced that they were stopping development on it finally after 5 years. He's like, this is sacre bleu, this is terrible, whatever he says in French. And it's like, bro, you've left that apparently he was kicked out, like not good terms, not amicable, like you're done. So his response may seem appropriate now and disproportionate to what's actually going on. But I mean, I love Dead Cells, but I have not played it in years, and I have it for my phone, and I've got it. I don't know if it's a Game Pass game. Maybe it is.
She's worth mentioning since we said some of them: Hollow Knight and Spelunky 2.
Yeah.
And those are perfect examples of games that look like I'm talking about, and also games that I personally don't dig, but I don't have that Twitch ability
Yes.
anymore. Like back in the day, I could have faked my way through a whole lot of these, but right now, I did try Shovel Knight. That one looked really cool, and I enjoyed that. That was kind of nice.
I was never good at those games, so them redoing them, I remember playing Ninja Gaiden on the original Xbox, and I sucked at that. That was a terribly difficult game.
Did you ever play the original Super Nintendo, the original 8-bit Nintendo one?
No.
And see,
No.
that's another neat thing. Back in the day, we called it Ninja Gaiden because, nobody was there to tell you otherwise.
There was no voiceover
There was
to tell
none.
you.
So
Right.
unless there was a cool older kid at your school or your friend's brother, nobody was there to know. You just pronounced everything. So in Street Fighter 2, the two guys with a similar palette were Ken and Ryu. That's how it was.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until I want to say way later, like maybe Adam Sessler, when it was still called Extended Play, when somebody like him called him Ryu or something else, and I was like, what? And I had to just, you know what I mean? So I read a long time ago, some famous guy somewhere said, never make fun of somebody for mispronouncing a word because it means they learned it by reading.
Yes.
And you never want to discourage reading. So to this day, I'll still get stuck on some of those and call it the wrong name. But regardless, the original, that's a tangent, the original Ninja Gaiden on Nintendo is a good example of one that I don't think I would have the prowess or the finger dexterity to continue.
Yeah, and I never did. So it wasn't like I was picking stuff up or lost anything by not getting into that. With those games that were so brutally difficult.
Yeah,
we had Game Boys, and there were definitely. I didn't realize it until like AVGN would review some of those games, and no, it wasn't that I sucked at them. It's that the game was awful.
Yes.
And It's like, wow, that's a like played Star Trek 25th Anniversary on the Game Boy. One of the most puzzling, weird, and most difficult games I've ever played. And there was Star Trek: The Next Generation on SNES. That game was difficult too, especially space combat. Nightmare. Absolute nightmare of a game, and didn't get very far. And it's like, why is this so hard? And this was as a kid, like, why is this so hard?
Yeah. Yeah. For me as a kid, sometimes, and the answer was always, I just must not be any good.
Yep. Let
Because
me
you
come back
didn't
to it in a
know.
year.
Like, I was one of the few probably who played the original Battletoads with that horrible sideways race maze thing.
Uh huh. Uh huh.
And that, if you ever watch a Battletoads reviewer, they're going to talk about it. And so help me, I never beat it ever. So we would replay those first few levels that we could do, but I never got past that. And then every now and then, it would pop up again somewhere, and you would always just talk to your friends and go, "Isn't that hard?" And they'd be like, "Yeah, that sure is hard." And you just assume nobody ever got it. And then decades later, you're seeing online, "Oh, here's how you beat it." It's like, you can beat that?
Yeah, and they can, and so many of those sequences are like, frame perfect. You
Yeah.
just gotta learn the precise thing and never make any mistakes. My game actually like that, even though I beat it back in the day.
Uh-huh.
But I rebought it a couple times. Was Donkey Kong Country. I
Oh,
didn't
okay.
realize that game was just a never-ending series of timing puzzles, because you have the barrels
Yes.
rotating and going up and down and this and that, and I totally didn't recognize at all that game, especially compared to Yoshi's Island, which I fell in love with a lot more as an adult than as a kid. uh Donkey Kong Country is cheap. It looks gorgeous. I remember just, oh, this game is so amazing. But playing it sucks. It's
Yes.
awful. Just like
Yeah.
just the sheer amount of just timing, like it frame perfect timing to get stuff done, and then you only have so many lives.
Yeah.
But Yoshi's Island, you play that game, and that is a musculature that you build.
Yeah.
Like, you have to develop that skill of how to handle Baby Mario and all that. That game, as a kid, I did not appreciate that game nearly enough.
Yeah. Yeah, those are some of the different things. I can remember getting to the different ways around them too, such as eventually back in the day, Game Genie, and then later on a Game Shark or something else that you could use to download game saves. Even on my original Xbox, I remember downloading completed saves or certain power-ups unlocked on certain games so that I could access everything without having to struggle through it, like a wrestling game, maybe have all the characters unlocked, all the creative wrestler
Yeah,
parts. And that to me was fun. One of the few times I would ever really dig paying for that, I got a WWE game a few years back. Not a giant fan of them, but you could pay $5 just to have everything unlocked. And to me, that's fine because it's not a competition. I'm never playing it online. I don't
mm-hmm.
have the patience to go through story mode 4 or 5 times and unlock it all. So for me, that was optimal because
Just give me
you
that.
can get
Yeah.
around that curve.
See, I never got into the cheat codes so much, except like on PC games, like TIE Fighter. Some of those missions just got really difficult, and
Hmm.
being a kid with still developing eye-hand coordination, having to manage power and do all that stuff. It's like, yeah, I'll play with invulnerability on. Who cares? And but so many, I had friends that were, as soon as they would open a game, they would just start cheating, and it's like, dude, like, just play the game a little bit first. Like, enjoy it that way. And then so when people are like, yeah, as soon as I open a game, I start installing all these mods, and it's like, developer intent, like, give them a break.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because
Give it a
at that
shot.
point you're just using their game to make the game you want. It's not about what this experience was that they spent however long putting together.
Yeah.
And I understand, like, you beat it and you've played it to death and you're like, I need to install 500 mods or whatever. But I'm like, as soon as I'm done with the game, I'm pretty much done. I'm on to something else. I don't have that dedication like I used to back when it was the one game I got that quarter or half that year or whatever it is.
Right.
Ooh, I'll take some nanobots. That's good. Nope, I guess not. Fine. Alright, so I guess there's nothing. What's this green thing that I gotta do? Oh, never mind. Alright, we gotta go to the other sites. I guess there's nothing here. Did you ever do the thing where you rent a game and it would come with the passcodes in the manual?
Yeah. Or
Yeah.
especially way back in the day, people would, like in some of the video game stores that came with a manual like that, previous renters would write notes in there for you. Like, hey, here's the
Yes.
code, or use this thing over there.
Yeah. I remember we rented Super Mario RPG in '96,
Uh huh.
and let's go to the unknown signal. And one of the saves would be an end game save. Then it's like, whoa, okay, which really distorts, how you play that game.
Yeah.
It's like, no,
Yeah.
we gotta play it from scratch.
I remember being at a game store that sold used Nintendo games that first went by the name Nintendo Trader, and eventually they got a cease and desist, so they went by Video Game Trader.
Uh huh.
But she was selling a copy of probably Contra to some mom, and the lady was a mom herself, and being like, yeah, there's some kind of code for it. If you'll give me your phone number or whatever, I'll find out, or we'll let you know. And so I was like, no, it's, the Konami code. And so I told her what it was, and they scribbled it down on a piece of paper for her son or whatever. And I mean, that kind of stuff was so cool because that was how it was. It was just word of mouth, And
Yeah.
again, you knew somebody had a brother, somebody had a friend somewhere, or maybe you caught it in a magazine. But that predates even Nintendo Power of what I'm talking about. But
Yeah.
it was
Right.
so fun. It was just a weird, it was kind of like the Wild West of video game know-how.
Yeah, I worked at a time when they were still doing, like, our strategy guide section was still like 4 foot sections of books.
Oh, strategy guides. Now you're
Yeah.
talking. Go ahead. What do you remember about that?
So I remember you'd have the big book, which I have several of, for like late aughts games and that. But there were those half-sized books, like tall vertical ones, that were loaded to deal with seasonal cheat codes and
Okay.
stuff like that. So, you'd have the Game Shark Spring 2003 cheat codes thing,
Okay.
and it would just be loaded with game after game after game of just cheat codes, cheat codes, cheat codes, and then after a while, that kind of cheat codes just kind of went out of style. So those guides just kind of evaporated, and they kept them. Especially, they would get more elaborate with special editions as like the 360 generation progressed, and they're really useful references, but they're also kind of spilling out, everything that happens in that game.
Wow.
Because I've got Skyrim, I've got Fallout 3 in here, Halo 3, Halo 2 and 3 maybe.
Okay.
I've still got those guides, and it's cool to see the maps and the art direction that they would use for that, and just how
Yeah.
thick. Fallout 3. Oh, here's this quest line. It is 40 pages long. You can just sit there and read it, even if
That's
you're
what's
not
funny
even
to me
interested.
is back in the day with the Nintendo Power, they could publish every map to Zelda could fit into like one issue.
Yeah,
That kind
yeah,
of stuff. It's just so cool.
yeah, exactly. The only magazine that I subscribed to was BC Gamer because that was the platform I was playing on. And it was like $10, $9 or $10 an issue in the mid '90s because it also came with a CD-ROM.
Was
A
that one of
CD-ROM
those with
demo.
multiple? Was it the CD-ROM with multiple demos?
Yes, and
Yeah.
the front end was a Macromedia Director front end. So it had all the fun front end stuff that you'd expect on the web not that long later. But that was back when it was being used to build CD-ROM interfaces and FMV built stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And they used to have a specific disk editor back then. I picked up a PC Gamer recently. We were just down at Barnes & Noble. And there's like four or five people that work on that magazine now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, there's like hardly any. And they're at issue 308 or something like that now.
Yeah.
It's been a minute.
Those are fun times. I mean,
Getting the monthly PC Gamer was like getting a holiday. And I remember Gary Whitta, he had a podcast with Jeff Green, and he's like, there was one issue. It was like the December 98, and it was 435 pages. It was like a phone book, but it was PC Gamer. And I remember just like, this is so cool. I read that thing over and over and over again for weeks. And in the interview, he says, yeah, we made the same size magazine we made every month. Just the difference was just in the ads, how many ads we had. That's what the business was like back then. So it's not like we had twice as much content because we had to fill in this space. It's just that we had 10-page Dwango and 10 spreads and fold-outs and gatefolds and stuff like that.
mm-hmm.
And it's like, wow. That's some insidery stuff right there. And then I think I looked it up on the Internet Archive, and it's like, gosh, this did have so many freaking ads everywhere all the time.
Yeah, that was, I don't know. And I'm sure you've seen on Reddit or other places, like some of those interesting end of the 90s ads. Some of them were quite spicy. And there's no way
Yes.
they would fly now. But back in the day, I remember reading those going, oh, this is crazy. Look what they're doing.
Yeah, they had like body horror, like distorted people, like like really freaky looking stuff. I remember one of the most interesting episodes. I think I want to say it was like September of '97. The front cover of PC Gamer was this polygonal Lara Croft in a bikini, looking away, and my mom handed it to me.
Oh no!
And it's like, yeah, thanks, Mom. Gonna, go read this magazine about PC games. And there was nothing, lewd in there. It was just, here's this cover, and it's got mostly naked Lara Croft on there in her 1500 poly glory.
Yep.
What a day! What a day! What a time that was! Oh my God.
That is funny.
That was a time.
Well, on that note, I'm gonna hop out and get some stuff done. But I appreciate you letting me join you here for a little bit of fun talk about a little bit of everything all over the place, and we even talked a little bit about the game you're playing.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, it was great. It was great to have you on, and I don't know if you'll be around on Wednesday.
Planning on it. It is, well, I don't know. That's Valentine's. Are you on for Wednesday?
Oh no, I'm sure we'll figure.
Mm-hmm. Better check.
I'll check with
people on that. Check with your office.
Yeah, I'll check with the home office. See what
your people call my people. We'll schedule it.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm sure there'll be chocolate going on. It helps when you're broke too. You can just hang out. You don't have to go anywhere.
Yeah. Plenty of those back in the day.
Oh yeah. All right, Baldy. Thanks for hopping in.
Take care. Have a great night. We will see you next time.
Absolutely. Oh, I got really close to this base. Oh my god. Oh. Alright, where are you guys at? I'm gonna blow all of you up. Yep, yep, let's take you out. Take you down, buddy. Let's see what we got down here. Alright, let's see. Hang on. We got a... Oh, I've leveled up twice tonight. That's pretty cool. I'm just working it. Alright, well my ship's a lot better. Yeah, take that. Take that. I'm intense. It's exciting. There's so much junk just floating around here. Alright, here comes the boss. There we go. Alright, let's... Wow! I got blowed up real good. Oh my goodness. How far back did that set me? Oh my god. Yep, there we go. And these guys down here are just going to cause me all kinds of trouble. Yes. Yes. Just gonna bombard this entire structure here. Zap. Got you. Nope. But I'll take that. That's good. Give me your money. I'm out of my spray and pray. Alright, what do we got? Okay. We got a... That is so many enemies. Oh my god. Alright. Ah. Alright, let's see. That is so many red dots. Ouch. I'm squishing. Baldy's a cool dude. I'm happy to have him on the stream whenever I can. Oh my god. Here we go. Let's take care of these guys. I'm almost dead. Eh. Oh my god. Oh, I'm almost dead. Ah! Boo! Let's just go to the jump gate. Let's get the heck out of this thing.
That base is a public hazard. I'd better obliterate it.
That means I gotta upgrade my ship or some stuff on it like it's yelling at me about all the time. Already done the derelict space station. Ooh. Ooh.
So much fog. It'll be hard to find a base in this murk. Alright, this one looks promising.
Take that. Take that. Well, that wasn't very nice. This is a lot of targets right here. Blowing stuff up. Yes. Who the heck is Steve? All right. Can we do the thing that I'm supposed to do? Oh, I'm still gonna get some more. Still gonna get more things. Oh, this is the outlaw base. Yes. All right. Let's see. There's this thing. There we go. I don't remember these reticles that first time I was doing a base. Boy, it would have been nice. Ooh, how about we not get shot up by the turret? Alright, this is kind of cool.
Triangulated source to the other two locations. One's here, and the third. Damn, this is not good. Can't find. Neither too dangerous. Let's just say call. It's for more and fan.
Ooh, we got a... Yeah.
I'll focus on the next one for now, and then meet you back in the hangar. We can figure it out from there. Good call. See you at base.
I already have a plus. I think I'm good. I think I'm good. Alright. And plasma. I'll take plasma. Alright. Got you. Alright, well that wasn't great. Phew. Let's see what's in the bulletproof container. Super gel. That is a big, bright something. All right, that's good. That's good. All right. Beacon the Flying Duchess. Boom. Hello, Ghost Lead. Ghost Lead. How are you? Getting this done. Come on. Got you. Big fan. Oh, thank you. Appreciate you dropping in. Oh, thank you. What's your favorite? Or favorites? I am taking out pirates is what I'm doing. I'm taking out pirate scum. Going over to the Flying Duchess so I can sell stuff. Or not. What the heck? Whatever. Outlaw drone. Where am I supposed to be? Wow. That was convenient. It's on-demand merchant. Oh yeah, let's definitely restock on this stuff. The Thief video and Deus Ex are faves. Ah, there we go. There we go. Gosh, it feels like forever since I've done one of those. Oh, why can't I sell any of these? What's going on? I want to be in the business more of... Dismantle that. Gosh, that was 2020 and the beginning of 2021, but barely. That was definitely a thing. Oh, it's because I'm not in the shop. That's what I'm doing. Let's see. Yeah, we'll sell that. Ooh, yeah, let's do that. I like the sound of that. I'm listening to the Otar Botkoveli soundtrack from MD right now, from Mankind Divided. Yeah, sell all of that stuff. I want to sell that. Get out of that. Get out of that. That's good enough for me. I will equip that and sell this one. Yep. I've been tempted for so many years to go back and re-review Mankind Divided, but also to review Invisible War. But honestly, Grimbeard just did Invisible War, and I kind of don't want to follow up on that. So I'm a big fan of just leaving sleeping dogs lie. Oh, where am I supposed to go? So that's there. Where does it want me to go? Hopping over to this little freaking chamber over here. Let's not run into the giant rock. That's a good idea. I'm a fan of that. Ooh, what's in here? He's got a sale right now and it's not accepting my card. So annoying. What were you looking to buy? What were you trying to get from the EA store? like this gun a lot better. You don't have that freaking wind up. Got you. Battlefield 3? Wow. I remember when they were showing that off at... Gosh. Or was it Battlefield 2? Oh, Battlefield 3. That's a... Wow. I remember playing the beta on the 360. That was something else. I'll get randos coming in from everywhere. Want to buy Murdered Soul Suspect 2. I think it was at Summer of Mark actually did his review on that. That's cool. Flying Duchess. What am I even supposed to be doing right now? We need a hive unit to override jump security. It's a kind of treasure. Destroy the second distractor base. I think I did. Alright. Let's get out of here. Favorite is Bad Company. I never played that one. I remember playing 1942 with Desert Combat mod. That was a big deal. That was a big deal. Played a lot of that in 2000 through 2003. Before... That was the age of in-person LAN games. LAN parties. Bring our computers over. And we'd play 1942 in this basement. Alright, you jerks. Get out of here. Alright, who the heck is splashing me? With corrosive whatever the heck this is. Alright, where you at? Take that. Take that. Those guys are still pretty far out. Just bathe this base in missiles. Take them out. Oh, crap. Am I leveling up again? Have you got bored of playing video games? Never. Never. But certain types I do. I honestly get a lot more enjoyment out of indie games and stuff like that than the big games. So Game Pass has been a real blessing in that regard. Alright, who was fighting it? Yes. Let's get back to base. Bad Company 2, yeah. I will say I have gotten bored in the past, though. Like, I just have seasons where I just don't play much at all. But doing the streaming stuff allows me to play games for not review. I forgot they had the doctor from the cryo. There's so much variety. Game Pass has a nice taste of it. It does. It's my dream to play as many of these games as possible, but since I started playing Everspace 2, it's like, yo, play this, play more of this. Have a game that I can settle into for a while. So I've been playing it for over a week now. Or for a week, I guess. Alright, here we go. We're going to cruise right into this hangar. Wow. Never thought I'd have this much time in Potato, but here I am. I'm gonna have to go grab it, try it out, and see. Alright. Well, let's save it and we'll call it. We're good. Let's bring it in. Let's bring it in. Another night with Everspace. Thank you guys for dropping in. If you haven't hit the like button, hit the like button on this feed. Thank you very much. Appreciate you. I think we're just going to continue on here on probably Friday, I think. No, not Friday. I think this might be the end of it. I think it might be next week that we're coming back. I think that might be it. Yeah. Alright, guys. Enjoy. Have fun. Not too much, though. Not too much. We can't have too much fun. Alright, let's get the hell out of here. Ugh.